this count as 2 steps forward, 1 step back? I feel like it kind of does, but it doesn't bother me too much because it's a quick little project. So this is not how I was gonna start this video, but I guess it'll work. We just had a wild storm blow through here. You still hear a little bit of the thunder. It was not supposed to rain today. Tonight we were supposed to get some, but not today. And there's stuff everywhere. So there's a lid for the barbecue. It's over there is where the storm is. There's a roof panel right here from when we were building the sheep shelter. There's coolers way over there. Another roof panel, not roof from the house. That's spare roof from when we were building the sheep shelter. I'm gonna try to get a shot. Our grass is totally like blown over, which is kind of hard to see, but that doesn't happen on just a little bit of wind. So they said 60-mile-per-hour gusts, but I don't know if you can see it here. No, it's hard to see. I wouldn't be surprised if we got 3/4 of an inch of rain in that short amount of time. We did lose power, which is lovely. That's always fun. But it cooled off like 20 degrees. So there is that. All the chicken processing stuff we had out, that's all blown over. Looks like some of our neighbors' generators. They got one. Our best apple tree is blown over. So hopefully it didn't crack I might have just lost that one. Let's go see. Yep. Well, that sucks. Cracked it right down there at the bottom. Man, that's too bad. We got water like this. This does not happen unless we get a bunch of water. The sheep, they were in a, whoa, got that one. They were in a small paddock in the front. We didn't have the shelter in there because we were gonna move them tonight. And they must have hopped the fence and get back to their shelter, get back to safety. But man, we got stuff everywhere. I guess we don't have power, so I guess I got something to do for the time being. We had, you guys have already seen it, but we put our garden in. We had the bags from the soil. There's one over there, part of one. I don't have any idea where the other ones are. That got blown around. So yeah, all of our vegetable plants look okay though. That was probably the worst storm that we've had since we've been here. And it was 5 minutes long. Good afternoon. So we're getting a bit of a late start today. You saw the storm roll through yesterday, and I spent the afternoon and evening helping to clear some trees that came down on the road and dealing with that mess that came through. And then another round of storms came through last night, so we stayed up watching those. Luckily, by the time I hit Knoxville, a lot of them broke up, so we just had quite a bit of rain. I think another inch last night, but the winds died down. It's pretty windy today, but the winds died down last night, and there was no tornado warnings or anything for us last night. So anyway, we were up till about midnight, and I wake up early, so it's a bit of a slow day today. But we're gonna try to make the best of it and get something done, since we didn't get anything done yesterday. So we're gonna work on pressure testing the plumbing lines and tying up any odds and ends before we work on the rest of our insulation. So we need to add a little bit of blocking and that stuff. So I kind of got my stuff over here ready to start the plumbing test where I know I have an issue. I put a little bit of air on it. I cannot get this PEX expansion on this washer. I've changed it out 3 or 4 times and I cannot get that to seat. So I'm going to change that out to crimp. I ordered some new I ordered the new valves for those. So these are the crimp valves instead of the expansion valves. So we'll get those swapped out, and then we can put air on it and check and see if we have any leaks. We have to fix that wall over there, which I'll explain when we get to that point. And yeah, we'll get this stuff knocked out and taken care of. All right, so I'm just gonna unscrew this thing here, and we'll take it off. I've done this, I think, 3 times, and for whatever reason, this one doesn't want to seal. So instead of continuing to waste my time, we'll just cut it. I'll cut it here and put a 90 on it. I guess I'm gonna have to cut it up here as well to get this off. All right, now that one will be ready. And since we're here, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut out the cold water as well, just because. Might not need it, but it might need it. So she's coming out. Well, that's odd. This one didn't have the fitting on the bottom, or the nut on the bottom of it. Alright, so I got both of those cut. Put a 90 on. I think at this point that I kind of like crimp better than expansion. One more fitting. Okay, that one should be good now. That's open, that's closed. So I did go ahead and get a replacement for this one coming, because I don't want to use my nut that I have here, because then if I ever want to use the other valve, I'm going to be short a nut. So we won't get cold water done today, but I think we are ready to put some air on this. Alright, so this is going to be loud here with the compressor, but I got the compressor fully charged. I'm going to open this up, and I have the mana block opened so that all the lines will charge. But I just want to open it up slowly because I don't want to bust out any fittings or anything. So I'm at 60, 61. So we'll give it a bit. It might, kind of watching it right here, because it might end up going down just a touch, because the pipe's going to expand some. But I'm going to take that off, and we're going to leave this alone. If this sets, what I'm going to do is just cut off this fitting here. Actually, you know what? I don't need to. I have another air chock. So to do the cold water, I'm just going to build this same manifold again. And then we'll put it on the cold water here, and we can test that one. So it hasn't moved yet, so we should be okay. If it moves, we got our soapy water. We'll spray all the joints. But while we're waiting for this, I'm going to go make our other manifold, and we'll get that on the cold water. All right, so to build one of those manifolds that I had over there, you need this stuff here. So I kind of go over it. You need an air chock, so 1/4 inch. You need 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch adapter, brass adapter thing. It's this one right here, a bushing, I guess it's called. We need a what is this one right here? Just 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch female adapter. So 1/2 inch screw in, and then for 1/2 inch pecs, you need 1/2 inch valve, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch T. You need another one of those 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch female adapters, another but a 1/2 by 1/4 bushing, and an air gauge. This one goes up to 160 psi. So it's pretty easy. It all gets screwed. These 3 pieces will get screwed together. Like this. Piece of PEX will go in between. Not this long, obviously. Cut it down. Then another piece of PEX from here to the T. And then these 3 here get screwed together, and they go up from the T, and then this will go into our line. So I'll go ahead and get this assembled. You will need plumber's tape on these joints so that they don't leak. And then once we get this together, we can go check. It'll take me about 5-10 minutes to get this together. We'll go check our line, which at that point will be close to a half hour. We'll see if we're leaking. If we are, we'll spray some water on it, and we can see where it's leaking from. And then if we're not leaking, we can move on to the cold water. All right, that's what she looks like. So that's open, it's closed, and I'll go check our other one. We need this. We need this. And we need one of these rings. Alright, so we ended up having a leak. I was aware that it was leaking earlier, and I put some electrical tape on it, and I thought it held. But once there's no more leaks anywhere else in the system, I think it's just going to come out here. So it's a real small leak. We were only down, I don't know, 1 pound, and it's been almost an hour, but it's more than I want. And honestly, this doesn't even matter, so it's probably okay, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to cut this off. I got the same thing we just did for the air chock right there. So we'll take this off. And then we can get this gauge back on there. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes. The hot water is still fine. There's no leaks on that line, I do believe. But the cold water, I turned on each one individually, and unfortunately, this is leaking here. So this is the toilet, and then off the toilet line we hooked in for the refrigerator waters. So it's leaking there. It's not leaking down at that one. It's leaking there. And it's leaking there. So, I don't know what the issue is, but I had terrible luck with that expansion PEX. So, I don't know if it's because it's using plastic fittings, but as I just showed you, that one at the water shutoff, that's not plastic, and that one's still leaking. So I don't know what the deal is. Hold on one second. So I don't know what the deal is as far as those things not working, but I had terrible luck on those, and I think I prefer the crimp. I thought the expansion was the way to go and the new way of the future, but apparently not. So I don't know what you could do wrong. You just stick the fitting on there and expand it and shove it in. So maybe people don't pressure test with air. Maybe water wouldn't leak and it's just a little bit air leaking, but I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. So anyway, we'll get some air back on it, and then yeah, we should be good after that. All right, so we got that done. I opened the valve. I restarted it with air. I'm not showing you guys the air because it's super loud and annoying, and I'm sure you don't want to hear it. So I'll show you guys what we got. Battery died at the perfect time, but I don't know where it cut out. But I'll show you guys what we got here as far as pressure. So it's really hard to see with a glare. 61, 62, something like that. And the hot water has been at 58 this whole time. So we'll come back and check on that. I'll give it an hour. If it doesn't go down in an hour, I'm not too worried about it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go around and get my measurements for blocking. So we need some in the guest bath here for a bottom vanity, and then I'm gonna add one up top for a mirror. And then we'll put some in the shower, which I'm not going to worry about the showers now because that's not important. We can do that at the end. We don't need them in for the closets. So these are going to be barn doors, not typical like open or accordion style closet doors. We'll do barn doors, but we'll do a single track barn door that they kind of ride in front of each other. They just have different brackets. So that's what we'll do for all of those. We need a couple for toilet paper holders, which we may or may not install toilet paper holders. If any of you have kids, you know that a roll of toilet paper free hanging on a wall and a small child is gonna end in the toilet paper on the floor. So we may not put any in there, but I'll probably put a couple in there, a couple blocks. Whether or not we put it on a stand or on the wall, I'm not sure of. And that should be the rest of the blocking. Other than over there by the TV. That's going to be a built-in eventually, but I probably should add some blocking over there. So anyway, I'm going to get that cut and then we'll get that installed as well. Good morning. We are back at it. What do you guys think? Do we think it held pressure or not? I just walked out here, so I'm a little nervous. All right. So, oh, you can see that? Right where it was yesterday. So, that's perfect. Oh, I guess I should check the cold water too. And cold water is good as well. Sweet. So that's done. I have air on the plumbing vent stacks as well. And that I checked that last night because that's 5 pounds. So you'll notice a difference. So that one's good. Next up, we're going to work on this here. So I don't know if you can tell. This board is twisted big time, but these boards here went in first. So you might be able to tell like this. Yeah, that's a good shot. See how this is farther in? So we put this board on first and then ran this one into it just because of the way we worked around the house. But what needed to happen, the way these posts are, is this board had to go on first. And then this one dies into it because right now it's not a right angle. So we need to cut these off. Luckily, all the girts on this side are just real short, so they shouldn't be that bad. I'll pop those out. This one is a little bit tougher because the girts are a little bit longer. So we'll pop all those out, and then we'll put some new girts in this corner, and then that'll be done. And I think we'll be ready for the rest of the installation. Does this count as 2 steps forward, 1 step back? I feel like it kind of does, but it doesn't bother me too much because it's a quick little project. This one's good. I don't need to take that one off. The best way to put this in there is I think all I'm going to do is this. We'll just burn this one. What the heck? There we go. We'll just waste a couple 2x, but no big deal. I don't know if there's something up with the blade here, or if it's with my saw. Well, it feels wide open now. We just gained 2 inches of wall space. For whatever reason, I was an idiot and I cut that one that I said I didn't need to cut. So I'm gonna have to add one. That one was totally fine. It's not an actual gird, it's just I mean, it's not a structural gird. I guess none of these on the inside are structural, but it doesn't meet up with any on this side, I should say. So I'll just splice that piece that I took out, I'll just splice it back in, and we'll be good. So I'll measure these, get these cut, and then we can get them tossed in there. All right, that looks better. I'm sure from that angle, if it's light, it kind of looks a little dark, but I'm sure from that angle it looks a little bit straighter. So that's what we need. All right, so that's done. I went ahead and added a couple blocks right here in this closet for either a bar, which I don't know if I'm gonna do a bar the whole way in that closet because it's a guest bedroom. We might do like built-ins maybe in there. I don't know. I'm not in charge of that. I just take orders from the boss when it comes to interior finishes, but it's just an idea that I had. So maybe she'll see this and say it's a good idea, or laugh at me and say, we're not doing that. That's a terrible idea. So I think I just need a couple blocks there, and I need to put a block back in there where we originally had our sub panel, and then I'll add some here in this bedroom as well, and then we should be done because the toilet paper holder things are done. So everything should be ready for installation. So we can get started on that, get that finished. I'll call in for my inspection. Today's a weekend, so can't call in for my inspection till Monday, but I'll call the inspector, have him come out. He can check the pipes. There's my plumbing vent. I got a little carried away with that piece of PVC, but anyway, plumbing's done, blocking's done, minus those ones I'm going to work on now. We're ready for insulation, and then I'm going to finish up the insulation, and then we'll be ready for drywall inside. So with that said, that's where we'll leave this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.